Yo, what's up guys? It's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and yes, you are exactly right, Josh. Closing in on day 100. Day 100, I have promised you guys a simul, so we're gonna do that on Lead Chess. I'll probably, unless it's unrated, which I guess it would be, right? Probably I'll do it on Ponziani Master then. But yeah, for today, I was debating whether to do a shorter stream and basically do some preparation for the masterclass tomorrow, which I have prepared already. I just wanted to go through all the lines again and make sure that I can really teach a good lesson. But for anyone who doesn't know, I am on subscribers and YouTube members. So you're welcome to sign up and join in, and I'll send you the link for that. But yeah, basically, that's gonna be at 10:30, and then afterwards I'll probably do the simultaneous. So I was thinking whether to do a shorter stream today, just do some woodpecker, and then do some preparation. But I actually felt like it's been a while since I've played an actual classical game, and if we have this like distant goal of trying to get 2500, then we probably should try and play some classical. So I think we're going to play a classical game. I'm going to set it on in the background. We might have to wait a while for that to happen. And in the meantime, maybe we can do some woodpecker. Or if anyone has any particular chess questions or about the YouTube membership or Patreon, you're welcome to ask as well. Yeah, life is good. Basically just had a bunch of chess lessons today. Felt like everyone I taught got a lot out of the lesson, so that was really good. And yeah, I just watched more of my Persona 4 walkthrough. I've been really enjoying going through that game. Didn't realize it was so good. But okay, since we're not getting an opponent, let's go do some woodpecker. And once an opponent does come, then I'll move my camera back over. My first instinct is to take and then somehow take, and actually with this bishop on a2 it might be possible. This actually looks really good. It could also be a red herring though. But okay, we're hitting the queen or hitting the rook. It looks really promising. I think we can do it. Yeah. I've never seen this idea actually, to pick up the loose bishop on a2, so that's good to see. And yeah, it's 55 days. Okay, I forgot to update it, but yeah, 55 days until the release of my chessable course. So yeah, lots of good things happening. Is knight h2, king h2, queen h5 picking up a rook? Is that good? My king's on a light square, so there's not going to be any discovered checks or something at the end. Knight h2, is there anything else going on I need to be aware of? Probably not. There's no in-between moves from this rook as well. Looks good to me. Yep. I'm surprised these are in the intermediate level. Maybe they're just being nice. Had some brutal ones and they're making some easy ones again. Or maybe we're just feeling sharp today. I don't know. I had some spicy food just now, so I'm like hiccuping a lot. I think I'm also quite exhausted from talking so much, so... We also got to remember that when we play this match, there's not going to be any increment. Recently, I've been practicing a lot more chess with increment because I realized I rely too much on flagging my opponents. And in today's day and age... Oh, wait, is this just the mate? b5 check, forcing takes, and then queen f5, forcing this, and then bishop d8. Boom. And I think I remember doing this one in the past. And I remember I got this wrong, because I would never be able to see this mating net in the past. But this is like a really common mating net with the bishop and queen. I can't remember. It's like Bowden's mate or something. But yeah. Now I see it really, really quickly. But I used to not be able to spot this. And also the pawn could have taken with checkmate for style points. But we don't care about style points. We care about winning. How do you make this work? Oh, a funny story about NN. Do any of you know who the player NN is? Because basically I used to, when I was like I don't know, going through my different openings, I used to use a website called 365 Chess, and I'd look at like some master games to get an idea, and I always saw this guy NN pop up, and I always thought he was like some, like, you know, guy from the 1800s. He's like just playing all the games all the time. Turns out NN stands for no name. I felt so stupid when I first realized that. I literally didn't realize that for so many years. I can't remember how I realized as well. It's embarrassing. Anyway, queen f7 maybe. King takes knight here. They can't block the check. But they've got many squares. They've got both of these squares. Who's dropping me a message? Probably someone dropping me a message on a different account. Which I will address later. Oh, man. But okay, while I'm trying to work this out. Oh wait, we can play with knight e7. That covers the escape squares of the king. Oh my god, is that checkmate? Holy crap! What a nice mate. Oh my god. I mean, probably some. Oh, I didn't even see that block existed, but it's fine. Yeah, probably like one of the most insane checkmates I've seen in a while. That's really cool. White is only probably winning, right? Queen d5 looks good with a double threat, but maybe there's like some defense. Checking on f2 doesn't seem very good. I'm not like material down or something. They can play queen e7 though. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Problem is queen e7 even protects e5, so how do we continue that? I'm looking at ideas of like following up with knight g5 or bishop g5, but can't make it work. Oh, is that a stupid move order thing? I never see this first. I never see this first. I never see it first. So annoying. I've made that mistake in like last time I did Woodpecker, and that messed me up. So annoying. But okay, we got there in the end, so it's progress. God, I'm actually getting tired from doing these exercises. It just shows how bad my chess stamina is. Like, if I'm gonna be playing tournaments, I need to improve my chess stamina. And also that means my physical stamina. And I don't think I've even left the flat today. I've just been so busy. I've been like I've been dealing with some housing stuff, as well as oh no, I did leave the flat today. But yeah, still not doing enough. Not doing enough. But there's not enough time in the day. It's too much to do. I kind of want to make this work. Because, yeah, if they take the knight, we can give a check. King takes, queen check. Knight... No. The king can just go back. But then we got bishop mate. So bishop here. Knight has to take. Then we give a check. King has to take. Then we give a check. King has to go here. Queen has to go here. King has to go here. I don't see the mate. Bishop here, here. Is there anything else we can do? Rook check, king here. Queen check, king here. Don't see it. Am I missing something else? I don't know. I honestly did some work earlier and got tired so quickly. I hope it's not just the case that after 25 it's all downhill. Oh, that could be the case. But I seem to know that peak masculinity or peak physical fitness for a man is like age like 28, 29. So I think we should be good. I mean, I used to always have this like image that I'll just turn 28, 29 and I'll just be fully buff. But it turns out you actually need to work out. So sod that. But yeah, apparently we should be hitting those peak fitness in 28, 29. So maybe that's actually going to be like peak chess years for us. Because if our limiting factor is physical fitness, then we're just gonna be able to ride that. I refuse to peak till like 35. I mean, it's possible, right? Like, don't ever forget that Topalov and Anand both reached their peak ratings like in their late 30s, early 40s. So I think definitely there is potential. There is potential for sure. God, I'm glad peak masculinity is not 25 because I'd be screwed. If this is the peak, my god. No. I thought like I was seeing some like bishop and knight mate or something crazy. Am I seeing that? Oh my god, is it? I'm seeing queen h4, the bishop can't take because I can go check, knight f2. Oh, that doesn't work because the king could go back to g1. I thought I was a genius for a second, but it's probably something along these lines. Maybe knight f2 immediately? Is that working? I hate these kind of positions where you feel like you've got something. Oh, this would be horrible if I got this in a game and I couldn't find the move. I'd literally flip the table if I missed a checkmate here. Which is why I can't play this kind of chess. It's too difficult. So, okay, we need more systematic thinking here. That's the key. So, what candidate moves do we have? We've got rook h1. Bishop e3, I guess, should be considered. We've got bishop takes g3. We've got queen h4. We've got queen h5. So what? If rook h1, that's the most forcing move, king takes. What candidate moves do we have here? Maybe there we can go knight f2, in the sense that if the king moves, we pick up the queen, and that's probably enough to have an advantage. If rook h1, king h1, knight f2, and bishop takes, maybe there... I was trying to make like queen h5 check, but just king g1? Doesn't feel like we've got a mate. So what's the key piece in this position? If we could remove one piece, would everything suddenly work? I guess if we could remove the bishop, that would be one way. If we remove the knight, that would be one way. So if we could somehow get these pieces away. Bishop takes g3 again looks promising, but after knight takes g3, is there really a follow-up? And we have a game. So let me go join my game. We will finish off that exercise. Pause timer. Let's play. Oh, it's a 2150 question mark? I guess let's play them. I think they look legit. Those are a lot of wins in a row. He hasn't played for 2 months. Okay, so we played it just in time. I kind of want to play the game, and I'm going to close chat, and we're going to have a look. So on e6, I saw that he was a French player, actually, so let's not transpose to any e4 systems with e4. And he's probably going to have a long think. Ah, he's playing a Dutch. Okay. So we've got our anti-Dutch preparation here. So we're going to start with... Well, bishop f4. What if they played g5? I've never seen this move before though, but is it playable? It looks really bad. No, we're playing bishop f4. Screw the move g5. There's no way. There's no way g5 is actually good. I refuse to believe it. Oh, for starters, we can just play this. Oh, no, we can't. They can play knight f6. I mean, I don't even know if this is bad for me. I could probably play like e3 or something and have like compensation. So I don't believe g5 is a move here. Yeah, that's more normal. We can play the move e3 here. And then basically next we're going to want to play knight d2. This is my starting position against all Dutches, which makes it a lot easier. And then we need to think about what kind of Dutch do we have. So he's basically playing more of a classical Dutch. And that means, if I remember correctly, we're going to want a castle queenside. And I think we want to play with bishop d3. I think this was the idea. And then he's probably going to play with b6 kind of stuff. And at some point we want to play h3 as well. I seem to remember the knight development. For some reason it feels wrong to play knight f3 so quickly. I should be careful about this move though, because maybe e5 comes in and then my bishop hangs, right? So I definitely need to be careful here. Maybe I can just develop first. That can't be bad. Developing knight f3 can't be bad. That should be right. I kind of want black to castle and commit to the kingside. There we go. And then we can play this move h3, which means that we basically tee up the idea to play g4. And I think after this, we also create a home for our bishop. We're going to play with like bishop d3, queen c2. And this is the idea. So bishop d3 now should be good. Black is not playing this b6, bishop b7. He's playing this idea. I mean, this doesn't make too much sense anymore to protect c7 because I'm never attacking it, but he might be trying to play for e5. So he's basically going to play knight c6 next. So the question is, am I able to play like some e4 move? I guess not, because my bishop will hang. I can also think about playing g4 at some point. But probably queen c2 first. I wonder if I want my queen on e2. That's the only question for me. So if queen c2 and they play knight c6. Queen c2 is definitely better, because then also on e5 he has to worry about this f5 pawn being weak. So definitely playing with queen c2, and also this kind of makes this diagonal a little bit weaker. So I think this is definitely good. Dutch players hate players who castle queenside as well, so this is promising. Wow, he goes on to this line. This really makes g4 definitely like a move you want to play. The only question is if I want to castle queenside first. Nah, g4 now should be good. G4 now is critical. G4 now looks fantastic. Let's play it. There's no way this isn't good. I mean, if he takes, this is literally over. This is literally over. So the fact that he can't take means that there's immediate pressure on f5. I think this is looking really nice. So this is the thing. I would highly recommend when you play openings that are very, very stylistic, like the Dutch, more important than just playing with like an engine eval and trying to just like keep like some plus 1.2 advantage or something, which would be very difficult, is more important to try and understand the opening. And once you understand the opening and what they're aiming for, you can play against it, right? So now I think he's going to be a bit slow because I can take on f5. Unless I've missed something here. I've got really good defense of my pieces. Everything is really solid. I can castle queenside in one move and I can take. So the question is he going to try and meet this with e5? Possibly. How does that go? So if I take and he goes e5, I can take, he can take. It's tough to say. I've also got enough control over e4, so he's never forking me if I take this pawn. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't be losing. At the same time, I don't know if I want my pawn here basically covering this diagonal. Like, he can't really take, ever. So is there a way I can prevent this e5? Probably not, right? Unless I play like knight c4, but then he can play b5. And given that I'm probably going to castle queenside, I probably don't want to provoke that. Yeah, my only fear is this. If that's not a problem, then I'm fine. Well, what else can I do here? If I castle queenside, he can still play e5. And then that feels even more dangerous. So maybe I can prophylactically move my bishop, but it also doesn't feel right. I think taking on f5 has to be correct, but... I mean, another idea is to always switch and play for e4, but not when e5 is about to come. Let's take it. Let's take it. I think this should be right. I can't imagine this is losing or something. So e5 was my only worry. Not too worried about it though. I think without the f-pawn, the whole e5 push is definitely less strong. Wow, he just took back. Okay, then I'm very happy. Then I'm very happy because he's got absolutely nothing and I might even go up a pawn. Like, can I even grab this pawn? If he takes, basically my queen is a little bit offside. What kind of moves can he play? Maybe knight h5 is a bit annoying there. It basically hits my bishop and my queen. Yeah, and the problem is my e-pawn is also pinned, right? So I feel like taking this is definitely no rush. If he ever plays g6, that's definitely like a target I can try and play against. His king is really misplaced on h8. That was bad from him. So I think castle queenside, get off this pin, and we're just doing great. I can't imagine that I'm missing something here. Yeah, I think castle's queenside looks really good. Also, it's always a good idea to castle before the bishop can take on a2. So bishop e6, now I have time to play king a2. Looks really nice. Okay. Aha, so maybe he's got some sacrifice ideas if he were to pick something up, but I don't think he does. And where to put this bishop? If we play bishop g2, f4 might be the idea. And we kind of want to be able to meet f4 with e4. So I think therefore it makes more sense to put the bishop on h2. I don't want to keep this bishop, and I think the bishop does look really good here. I also don't mind if like some queen h5 and he grabs this pawn, because it'll just open up this file. So I think bishop h2 looks really strong. Unless I'm missing some tactic, you always have to be careful. I think we're good. I think we're good. As I said, there's a lot of like protection in this position, so you're less likely going to blunder something. And you might be thinking I'm like an absolute chicken for like being so risk averse, but the number of games I've managed to choke from just hanging something, it's unbelievable. So I have to. This is the life I have to follow. And guys, you're welcome to message the moves. You're welcome to message the plans. I'm not going to be looking at chat for the duration of this game, so you guys can discuss between yourselves if you have any cool ideas in the position. But yeah, I absolutely love this position. I think this is a dream. And I saw that on his profile, he said he's like 1950 FIDE, so this is technically a similar level of opponent, but I feel like I've completely got the upper hand, at least out of the opening so far. So, not to say that this guy is weaker, we're probably going to see his strength very soon. But yeah, I do like my position. So, what next? I can either choose either rook to come to g1. I feel like this definitely is a useful place to go on the open file. Although I don't really have a clear attack on g7, like how do I bring more pieces to that square? And in general, when you attack, you kind of want to attack on a point. And I don't know, maybe it's better than to just start marching this h-pawn up. But let's say we get to h6, they can always play g6. Sure, their king's a bit weak. Maybe this is something we want to do already. Like, is the rook somewhat useful in d1? And is there any reason to play rook g1 now? I don't really see a reason to play it so soon, to be honest. I'm not so afraid of black pushing this a-pawn. I think we should get moving with our h-pawn, actually. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's push this guy. Let's push this guy. I don't really care. I definitely don't want to play a3 where basically I weaken all the light squares. I think I'd prefer him to push and me to play b3. For sure this pawn is a little bit of a thorn. But if I'm careful, I don't think it should amount to anything. So I think we're going to push h5. And the point being is if queen takes, then we have a discovery. At the very least I can win back this pawn. Looks good. So I think let's just do the same. Let's just basically create a bit of a thorn. And I feel like since I've got the open file on the G file, I feel like I have a greater chance of making something happen compared to him. And this is definitely the idea, to play b3 here. I mean, I also looked at this knight before, but I can just take and play queen b1. This is like important to see. Maybe there's like some queen c6 stuff, but at the very least I have to just give back a piece or something. I can't imagine this being like super strong. Also, I can also consider just playing queen b1 and basically keeping this position closed. I don't have to open it all up. But yeah, I do need to be a little bit careful. I can also play king b1 and just protect this pawn with my king. And we should also note that we're a bit low on the clock as well. I just had a really crazy marketing idea for Chessable. But what if I like made flyers for C3 Venom and I just started like distributing them across places? Like, I don't know, would anyone see a flyer for C3 Venom and then like be like, yo, I wanna play this opening? Like, what could I put on the flyer? Like, if I made it like a really professional looking flyer, because I've made like professional looking flyers before for like shogi tournaments. I made such a nice flyer. But I don't really know if flyers work, to be honest. It might just be a waste of like a tenner. Also, I shouldn't be thinking about these things during an actual game. This is like poor performance skills on my part. I definitely have this feeling that I want to play king b1. It also means that I can also meet this with like rook c1. It feels like it's going to be a necessary move. Let's definitely play it. I think this makes a lot of sense. And this is actually a good thing why we didn't commit the rook immediately. So he wants to play this, and then I don't really have this because of this. I see. We could start with c4 now, if we don't mind opening that file. But then he's always got this, right? So, okay, I can see this is a bit annoying. And we're a bit slow. We're not in time to like put a knight on b1 to cover this square. And I realize I am getting extremely passive here. I mean, the other option as well is to basically, let's say, play h6. Let's say he plays g6. And basically do another attacking move and just allow the loss of an exchange. Because I feel like we should have enough as well. Or I can just move the rook, right? I can move the rook so that if the knight comes in, I can just move my king. And it seems like we're alright there. Like, that's a very strong knight, but we can basically kick it out with knight b1. So I think if we just move the rook to c1, and I like the rook more on c1 than like on the king side. I don't necessarily see exactly what it does. Whereas rook c1 definitely has some tangible benefit. So that's my feeling. I think rook c1 looks like a great move. So this kind of balance between attack and defense is a tricky one to master. And I feel like this is one of my best aspects of being a player. Like when the kings are opposite castles, I feel like I'm a good judge at when to attack, when to defend. Because when I was a junior, when I'd play 1e4, the only games I'd ever win would be if my opponent blunders or if we got opposite sides castling. And that was literally my repertoire. Like I would like, even with the black pieces against like the English or something, I would just try and castle queenside, hope they castle kingside, and try and win, even if it was like objectively bad. So I do have some experience here, basically. Okay, so we're not mated, thank God. I really like this position for me because I am ready to play knight b1 and just get rid of this knight if I want to. I mean, there's even the argument to just play around this knight. Don't really... I mean, probably I should get rid of it, actually. It's probably not a good knight to keep there. But what I really like is that this position is closed. And unless there's a way to sacrifice, I think I'm doing really well. And the question is there a way for me to open up black's kingside? That's going to be the question. I definitely feel like if anyone has a chance, it's going to be me. But whether I actually find that way, not too sure. One interesting idea, by having the pawn on h5, maybe I could somehow get my knight to g6 with like some kind of sacrifice. Like obviously I don't want to do it now and blunder my knight. Also, is that a blunder? Ayo, is that a blunder? This London bishop, I swear to God, people miss it all the time. Is that a blunder? That could well be a blunder. I'm just double checking to make sure I haven't missed something. I reckon that has to be a blunder. Yeah, what does he even do there? I'm hitting the rook as well. I think we're just going to take this. I mean, the guy's playing a little bit too fast, I think, personally. I really hope that was actually a blunder and I haven't just missed like some clever tactic. I mean, this is the good thing as well. Like, I am extremely solid, so I feel like there shouldn't be something. Aha. Yeah, I think it must have been a blunder. Because now I can take and I can always push. I can also take here. This looks really good as well. Really tough. I can also take with the pawn. Oh, that's even better, probably. Take with the pawn, they take. Do I have to worry about any queen move? Probably not. Does look really strong, taking with the pawn. I definitely don't want to take and activate this queen onto a dark square, though. That's definitely something I want to avoid. I mean, I can also just play bishop e5, just cover the dark squares and chill. This is like a really ambitious move, but I do open up my king, right, on this diagonal. So I don't know if I want that. Maybe this is definitely the safe move, but it's the chicken move. But we are a chicken. I am definitely a chicken. Big decision here. Big decision. I mean, basically, to get this past pawn, I would then need to play with my strength, right? And I'd have these connected passes. And even though it may be winning, I do think it brings a fair deal of risk, right? Like, we open up the light squares and basically I've got some problems. I really want to play this move. Just keep my king as solid as possible, and this is a good diagonal. If he wants to spend more time, So be it. I think we're gonna play this. I think this is the smarter. I think this is the smarter option. I don't think we should be greedy. We've already gained a pawn for free. My opponent just blundered it. Let's not be greedy. We've also got 16 minutes as well. This isn't like a, a 4CL, like 4-hour game where I can take as long as I want to decide everything. Like I need to be somewhat practical with how easy it is going to be to defend and stuff like this. Yeah, I thought that move might happen. I think I can always throw in h6. If they have a take, I can throw in takes on g7. So I'm going to throw in this move first. Oh, that's actually a really good move. Because he really can't take because I take, and he can't push even because of my bishop. I didn't even see that aspect. That's kind of lucky. But also, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely lucky in the sense that I didn't see the tactic, but it's also not lucky in the sense that I feel like I played very principled chess up to this point. So, generally, tactics favor the side that's principally better. I don't even have to see the tactics, right? So, yeah, this is killer. Absolutely killer. This is a model game. This is a model game. Straight up. So let's take that. And he has to take back. And now, my intuition would be to take with a knight always. I mean, if I take with the pawn, at least this has no more like pawn breaks. The pawn can also be actually a pretty nice controller of the dark squares, given that I've lost my bishop. The more I look at it, the more I actually like pawn takes. It looks a bit counterintuitive, but definitely feels like the nicer move. Unless there's something immediate that I'm gaining with the knight. Not sure that is. I definitely don't want to throw in some in-betweener. Then black would be able to block somehow. So what's the best way to go? I mean, to be fair, my knight's not so good here, right? Like, if I take, I'm kind of, like, limited with my knight. If I take with a knight, am I threatening something? I'm definitely threatening these kind of ideas, right? This looks really strong. So probably knight takes is just better. I think let's take with a knight. I don't think pawn is bad, but I think the activity of this knight is going to outweigh any kind of, like, grip I have on the dark squares by taking with the pawn. But do you see how practical it is to basically play in a style that the opponent doesn't like, right? More important than any objective evaluation. Unless you're playing at like 2700 level, in which they won't be playing the Dutch anyway, so. Okay, so this kind of makes sense. He tries to like open up something. I can already play Rook G1. And I wonder if this is the move I want to throw in. Because if he ever plays King F6, no, I can't play Rook H6 because then I lose here. Unless F4 is checkmate, which it is. So okay, that's very promising. I'm at least calculating a bit. So that means Rook G1 must be a useful move to throw in. Like, I can't see any reason why I wouldn't want to throw that in. I think let's throw it in, and let's see. I mean, I can imagine him playing this move, and Rook H6 just assuming that this capture is good if he's not calculating, and F4 is just mate. So if we can throw in a check and there are no ways to block it or do some kind of counter attack in some way, then definitely throwing in this check is going to be useful. If he plays a move like King H8, guess I can play Knight G6 immediately. The question is, do I want to? I mean, I kind of would want to just take back the pawn as well. He has gone for this. So that means I can play this, and if he blocks, then I can take. And let's just double check everything if we give check. And he takes here. That is definitely a mate, right? I'm not tripping. That's definitely a mate. What a game. Oh, what a nice game. C3 Venom all the way. Let's go. 2300, lads. 2300. What a game, guys. What a game. 1c3 will transpose into a lot of reverse Karo Slav things. Absolutely. That's exactly what my plan is. Hey Frizz, welcome. Thank you for the GG. With knight on e5, the game wins itself. Totkawa, I've never heard of that quote. That's a really nice quote to hear. I think it's Kasparov that said knight on f5 is worth at least a pawn. He says it's worth a rook or something. Aha. Yeah, worth at least a pawn wouldn't make sense, right? But worth a rook, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, big game. What a game. That was so clean. That's definitely going in the C3 Venom model games, absolutely. Let's go add that actually. If I sign into my chess lifestyle, let's add that game. Holy crap, what a game. That was so clean. And actually I wonder, we're probably not we haven't played enough classical games to get like get a rating. So these are some of the updates I wanted to add. This is like a Dutch model game. Wow. This is definitely going in C3 Venom. What an absolute game. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just happy. That was just so clean. That was so clean. I used to always get wrecked by the Dutch as well. Soon, day 100 exactly. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to be doing a simul. Let's see how clean that game was. Damn, close to 100. Let's go. Yes, Woody Shooter. Welcome to the stream. Woody Shooter, I recognize your username because you've probably commented before, but I don't recognize you on the stream, so welcome if this is the first time. Let's play a blitz game. I'm going to play 1c3. Nah. I ain't showing. Black was better? No. Get out. Black was never better in this game. Are you kidding me? That's so annoying. I felt like I was doing so well. Let's understand this. Okay, so this opening has gone very well. I mean, we're not playing for the most objective way to crush the Dutch. I really felt King H8 was bad in view of G4. Wow, knight c6 was best move. Interesting. I think I was worried about black playing e5, but I really don't understand this then. So apparently I'm just good after d5. Right. And if d5 here, this bishop drops back and I'm just chilling. And actually, what's the difference here? So if I just drop back immediately, they can take and I'm just slightly worse. So yeah, this was what I was looking at. I can't take here because of this. I can't take here because of the pin. Knight takes is a little bit ugly. And wow, knight d5. I was looking at this square and thinking like that loses a piece, doesn't it? But yeah, knight d5. And wow, black's a slight edge with this pressure. Unbelievable. White is literally a pawn up and black is slightly better. That's crazy to me. But yeah, had I basically taken once, then apparently none of this is working. Yeah, because there's not like some capture on d4 anymore. There's no chance of knight b4. This pawn stays on c3, which ensures my king's safety. So this makes a lot of sense. I wonder if I would have been able to work that out. I'm not so sure. I don't think anyone commented about specific moves, so I think, yeah, I'll just keep going with the analysis. So knight d5, rook b8, slight better for black. That's unbelievable to me. Still, I think this is good. And a3, what? Nah, a3 weakening my light squares like that. You gotta be kidding me. And h5 is a mistake. This is a problem because of knight b4. I mean, I looked at this and I thought queen b1. I'm chilling. Yeah, and I considered maybe this is a bit scary, to be fair. I thought at the very least I can give back a piece, but I can't block with knight. This is what I was thinking, and on b5, you know, life would continue, but I do drop the knight here. I didn't see that. So what, I have to block with the bishop, and then b5 is just really good. Ooh, yikes. Oh boy. But if knight cb4, I also said I could ignore it, but I can't ignore it? I can't ignore it. Oh my god. Ah. So normally, when I castle queenside and I have this structure with c3, I'm normally playing a slug. So normally my knight is on c2, and that's why I'm not... Like, my queen would be on d2, my knight would be on c2. my bishop would be on e3, and that would mean that these knight cb4 ideas are never working. So I think that's where my intuition is slightly off, because I'm used to having a knight on c2. That's shocking to me. So what am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, of course I can still take and then like not play queen b1. I can't play here because of this though, so queen c4, but this is scary. I don't want this at all. So what do I need to do here? Can I play like king b1 and just allow this? Is that fine? Yeah, at least now they're not playing knight cb4. Yeah, this would be fine, but at the same time it says black is better. That is really shocking to me. That really annoys me actually, because that makes me feel like I don't understand this position at all. For it to be like minus 0.7 here. That's really incredible. Basically, this is saying that black's attack on my king is better than my attack on Vaz, and I've got the open file. Like, that makes no sense to me. Very mysterious. Very mysterious. I mean, for sure, see, b5, b4, to open up this diagonal, it does make some sense. But yeah, that's really interesting. I'm gonna have to have a think about this. I thought this was so good for me. That's unbelievable that this is -1. I really thought I was doing well. I thought I'd completely outplayed him at this point. And okay, like it's clearly like, this is something concrete that he has to do. Okay, I accept that the bishop is very good on this diagonal, right? Like, I appreciate that. I'm still surprised. And I guess h6 only helps him if he plays g6. And I've got no way to use this open file. That's unbelievable to me. If bishop f6, what about this plan to try and put a knight on g6 again? Can I play like, yeah, move the bishop somewhere? What's this plan? So queen d8. Not exactly sure what that does. And yeah, we can already play this move knight b1. What's even going on here? Knight e4 and we can't just win a pawn? Oh, we're probably losing to bishop b7. Right. And we can't play d5 because of this, and the knight is loose. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this was my fear. I was a bit worried about playing knight b1 because of knight e4. I didn't see that the knight was hanging. I just felt like the knight would get out on a comfortable square. And queen d8 is to stop knight g5, because basically if you don't stop knight g5, let's say you play like some random like rook b8, then I think knight g5... Oh, it's to stop knight h4? Wow, okay. I guess knight h4 hits f5 and g6, so that makes sense as well. But also I can't believe that this isn't better. Like seriously, there's nothing here? Like not even like knight takes f5? Oh man, that's terrifying. That's actually terrifying. Holy crap, this bishop on f6 is so strong. I never appreciated this. I mean, you guys have got to remember that I'm also somewhat new to the London. So, like, I'm still kind of getting used to, like, these imbalances of, like, okay, my bishop's here, he's gonna have this diagonal if he wants it. It's incredible to me. I thought I played this so well. I thought this was, like, such a clean game. And okay, after this blunder, definitely it is. I don't know if I'll be able to use this as a model game then. I mean, like, it was so nice, but... Yeah, this attack as well, really, really brilliant. Really brilliant. Oh, I didn't even see I had knight f3, but once you see one mate, you don't need to see another. Really interesting, really interesting. Okay. Woody Shooty, you fell on Discord, right. I remember we had this. On Twitch, right? On Twitch, I think we had this. I don't remember, but I do remember now. Woody Shooter and Felder. I remember the connection. Such a clean game. Yes, it was until I checked the engine. That's the curse of the engine. How about bishop c2 to block? Ow. At what point? Bishop c2. Bishop c2. I can't remember at which point bishop c2 would be good. Sorry. Probably in these complications, right? With the knight cb4. Probably there's some bishop c2 here. Is it like... yeah, we take and then queen b1. Bishop c2, right? Oh my god. Oh, oh, I'm glad I wasn't the one who suggested bishop c2. That's painful. Perfect game before checking the engine, yeah. But that is just too strong on c3. My streamer becoming a London enjoyer. Oh no, yeah. Literally, Felder, my chess has gone on such a ride. I think since you were watching, you know, when you were watching, I was super ambitious with my openings, or super ambitious with my play. I've done such a U-turn, and I've just realized that one of my biggest strengths of as a player is basically it's just grinding chess. Like basically getting a slight advantage and just grinding out my opponent. And I found that the London is actually a perfect opening for it, because I also realized when I played, like, if you guys haven't seen my video on like my 2023 my chess failure, basically to give a short summary, I mean, like, definitely watch it because it's really insightful, I think. But like, I would say, is my plant dying? Okay, I should give it some water. But yeah, basically. Okay, I'm gonna give it some more water. Fuck it. Okay, the plant shouldn't die now. But yeah, basically, where was I going with this? Yeah. Basically, like when I think about like my games, in classical, the number of blunders I was making was unbelievable. Like if I didn't blunder like some stupid 1 move, 2 move like kind of tactics, I reckon I would be a good 100, 200 points higher. And given the fact that, you know, my goals have adjusted a bit, and I'm feeling like, you know, I would be really content as a human being if I could optimize my chess and actually achieve getting something like 2200 in FIDE, that would be amazing. I feel like the way to do it for me is like I kind of have the strength if everything goes well. And the question is, how am I going to optimize everything going well? Well, avoid very critical situations where you need to, you know, basically attack or defend for your life, which involves very careful calculation, which means, you know, having a good day. And you don't always have a good day when it comes to playing classical chess. Thank you for the follow, by the way. And yeah, basically by playing the London and slowing the game right down, I have more equal positions, which I can grind out. Like, I literally don't care if my position is equal. I'm going to try and outplay you anyway. So I can play it very ambitiously. And I also reduce the risk of blunders. And I also think that, like, especially with my c3 move, it's like so much like flexibility. So I'm big fan. And Felder, if you haven't heard, my Chessable course is coming out in 55 days. And it is on the move 1c3. It's going to be huge. And I hope it's going to take the chess world by storm. At least it will take the chess lifestyle community by storm, which I think will be very fun. But definitely worth showing how people can get into trouble so they know how to avoid it. Yeah, that's true actually. And from a model game perspective, I can show it in the educational perspective of, like, you know, don't do this. But if I'm going to recommend not to do it, then I need to have a very clear understanding of what to do, right? Like if I'm going to say, you know, this stuff doesn't matter. I mean, okay, maybe we should explore this a3 a bit more. It just looks horrendous to me. Like putting all my pawns on dark squares like this, with my queen on a light square and my king on this side of the board. This is like a sure way to die. Like, I'm not kidding. Like bishop e6, I don't think I've got like knight g5 stuff because the bishop can hide. This looks horrendous. Rook hg1, h5. Let's play with h5. That was kind of more of my intuition in the game. What's going on here? I can't believe I'm seeing these numbers, right? I really can't believe that this is actually so fine. Like, I guess this knight is really in the way. Maybe let's start with knight a5. Okay, and we have to play c4. I guess we can start with this. And c4 here. Ah! a3 and c4 basically to try and cover the light squares and dark squares in a way that's okay. At the same time though, I definitely remember in my course I was advocating for the fact that by having the pawn on c3, all of these lines where they try and counterattack the queenside, it's going to be slower, right? Because often, like, when you play like a typical classical Dutch, one of the main counterplays when basically, we get these setups where white is very cheeky and ends up castling queenside, I don't know, something like this. I don't know what exactly the moves are, but the point is that when white castles queenside, you can often play for a very quick a6 b5 or rook b8 b5 kind of move, and you've got the c pawn as a hook. But when you play with c3 Venom, you don't have the c pawn as a hook, so this is kind of an asset. But maybe what we can argue is that since black has pushed the pawn all the way to h5, they're no longer going to be able to play a6 b5, which means that actually, okay, we can play a5, and when we get this situation, we can play c4, in the knowledge that b5 is going to be harder to achieve. I mean, maybe that's the way I can think about it. Oh, there's a knight hanging. Let's deal with that. So let's put the knight back. Aha, and even with d5. So interesting. d5, let's say we go back here. Oh, and we're the ones taking over the diagonal? This is some precise chess. Knight d4 would have been my thought. Okay, it is a good move, except for this very particular knight g4. Fair enough. c6 b5, it still feels scary, you know? It still feels really scary. But in some ways I can acknowledge how this is maybe a bit more okay. Like, I can always hide my king on b1. Maybe this is worth making a couple notes on, actually. Let's go. Let's just make a couple notes about this a3. Just so if I do add this game. I mean, basically, I've realized, like, I can have never-ending work on my c3 Venom, but at some point, I've basically got to just stop adding stuff and just be done with it. And I have stopped adding stuff and I am done with it, but I think I will do like a 6-month update and just update a bunch of files for people to have new stuff. But yeah, I wanted to give this analysis where basically black can try and attack, and then we wanted c4 immediately is even good. Okay, let's just play that. And d5. Oh, and now knight d4 is good. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, so this is like so I'll put less of a hook now that a6 b5 is less possible with the a pawn on a4. And then we've also got this this defense. So stronger queenside setup for king safety than in our game. So I'll just put I should also include the lines where basically like knight b4 was like an option. Also very dangerous. Yeah, and I'll just make this note. Like basically around here there was this bishop f6. So taking the diagonal would punish our queenside setup. Yeah. So okay, but like really interesting to see these nuances. And okay, we get a bit better. But it's a shame, right? Because if I had to play with a3, then I feel like I would never ever get like I would never win this game in 28 moves, right? So it's like a curse of like being better at chess sometimes. But what to do? What to do? Sorry, I should have checked the move. Looked ugly either way. No worries, Felder. I mean, like, yeah, it's better you ask than don't ask. So it's a good question. Understandable. Happens to me all the time when I used to play with Leningrad. Should really have stopped playing it. I don't know which part you were distressed about, Felder, but yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I feel like stuff like Leningrad can be really, really good if it suits your play. Like, I remember, if any of you are following Chess Lifestyle back in the days of Ultimate Sensei, which was during the pandemic, I basically went on some reality chess TV show, and basically there were like 8 similarly strengthed players, and we had to do like a bunch of challenges, and basically there'd be a big tournament at the end, and the girl who ended up winning it, Kimmy Liu, such a strong player, by the way. I'm actually curious what her FIDE is. Let me have a look. Kimmy Liu FIDE. Yeah, let's have a look. She's probably really underrated. 1941. What a joke. What a joke. She's so strong. But yeah, basically, yeah, Kimmy would always play Leningrad and play Birds, and she was so strong at it. Like, I can't even begin to explain how strong she was at it. And yeah, she just really got it. So I think it just suits some people better than others. I mean, I've tried to dabble in Leningrad. It just hasn't worked out for me. What's your line against 1c3? That is a secret I will never tell. I will never tell this. Unless someone like paid me a lot of money to like spill or like make a second chessboard course on how to beat 1c3 Venom. But yeah, that's a long way to go. It looks like a stone wall where you can't play knight e5, so e4 probably at some point. Aha, you're talking about the game. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of e4 at some point, but you don't really want to play e4 when they can meet it with e5. Like, this is one of the rules in the Dutch. How bad is it to become Yasser there and take the pawn? Bishop d6, plenty of discoveries. Right, I'm not sure which moment, but yeah. Have you seen the Immortal game played yesterday at the Sharjah Masters? I heard about this. Is this for Salam? Salam? I believe maybe Egyptian Grandmaster? I actually don't know. Was it his game where he played like a King's Indian? Also Sharjah Masters, that's not finishing, right? There's still loads of rounds to go. The last I heard about it, Hans Niemann was on 3 out of 3. Aha, and Salam drew. But yeah, I heard like this King's Indian game was unbelievable. I haven't seen it. Maybe you can have a quick look. It was at the end of your A3 line, but no worries. Okay. It was against Fedoseev. Yeah, I heard about this. I mean, I do think Niemann needs a bit more credit, though. I mean, like, he's playing in this Sharjah Masters, and he's had such a good tournament as well. Like, I feel like people, like, shoot him down when he does badly, and then don't say much when he's doing so well. Like, didn't he have that other tournament where he scored, like, 8.5 out of 9? Unbelievable event. Like, I do think Niemann's definitely someone to watch out for. But he's definitely very, very erratic as a player. Like, he's sometimes playing some great chess and sometimes not at all. But let's have a very, very quick look, and then I think I'll call it a day. How does this go? Maybe we should look from Black's perspective, if I can flip the board. Am I able to flip the board? Or maybe let's just watch it from the white perspective and remind ourselves why we don't play d4. That's probably going to be quite fun. Aha, so this early h4. I have a student who's been dabbling in this. And he plays like a more like Benoni type structure. But I never like playing this because whenever you play e6, they can always take back with the e pawn, and it's just bad. So okay, we have more of a Benko, probably a Benko transposition. Interesting. G5, okay. G5 feels a bit odd to me. I guess with Bishop E2 that makes sense. How on earth did Black not lose this? I refuse to believe that Black's like better here. Sorry, this is like +2. This is +2. How on earth did Black win this? Can anyone tell me at this moment here, specifically this moment after E6? Like, I'm sorry, this has to be better for White. This has to be better for White. I mean, this is why I would hate playing King's Indian and hate playing d4. Like, the fact that White can lose this, that just, like, hurts me deep inside. Wow, knight e5. Okay, I can kind of see how maybe this isn't looking so nice anymore. Like, ultimately, the king is just really misplaced. Like, how could White have played this in a way? Well, we have a crushing kingside attack without, like, you know, having such a terrible king. I don't know, maybe we could play queen d1 here and just try not to, like, open the center. Maybe f4 is too ambitious. Like, maybe We want to be able to play f3 at some point. I mean, I feel like Queen D1 might be a really good move here. I really want to see this actually. Let's find this on Lichess. Do we have like the live boards? Let's find this on Lichess. Oh, that's not going to be Lichess. Lichess, Shajar. I can't spell it. 2024. No, they're not going to help me. Okay. Seriously? There we go. So we want round 3. Let's have a quick look at this. So this is the horrible thing, right? Imagine being plus 1.2 and then just giving up your whole advantage as a 2700. If Fedoseev cannot do it, why do you guys think that you can do it? I know it's extremely pessimistic. I just want you guys to be more practical. So, wow, this is actually better for black. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Queen D1 and we're just, yeah, screw D4. I ain't ever playing this stuff. Never playing this stuff. I'm not getting this position to be worse. What a joke. And then this sacrifice isn't even good. Okay, we're going to turn off the engine because it's just depressing. But yeah, I can imagine this game is going to go absolutely nuts. D4. Blunder, apparently. Yeah, taking the 3 pieces blunder. What is this chess? What is this chess? And then the rook sack. And then Fedoseev's king is hopeless. And then the queen sack with mate in 24. Oh my Jesus. Oh, and then the final rook sack. And that's going to lead to mate. Ooh. Fedoseev is a super salty player. I can imagine him not liking this. Holy crap. Wow. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Can't see the board. Oh, I'm glad we switched to Lichess. I didn't check. I didn't check chat. Whoops. I'm glad we switched. Yeah. Grenke Chess Open, Robert. Yeah, exactly. Slightly too aggressive, but amazing to watch. I mean, black is playing against 2 pawns. Surely black is winning. Oh, it's a we can't see the board joke. Yo, I apologize. I apologize. I was too invested in the fact that white wasn't in a winning position. So, yeah. Yeah. Sharjah Masters, very, very difficult tournament. Respect to anyone who even attempts to play in such an event. Like, honestly, huge respect. Because I feel like you could play in any other tournament and you're going to gain much more rating or lose much less rating. So, huge respect, but I think every player who plays in this is going to come out much stronger. So, yeah, can fully respect it. And on that note, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I think, actually, let's have a look if Ponziani Master is getting close to getting a rank on Classical. I mean, we have entered into 2300 Classical for the first time, which is very, very cool. And if we can get our rank... Oh, we need to get below... Below what? What is the threshold? Below 75. So, okay, we need to play a few more classical games, and then we might actually get on the leaderboard. And I think, actually, where would we be right now? If we were on the leaderboard, we would be around 68, so we would get a little trophy. What gets us top 50? Top 50... Okay, we're actually very close. 23. Okay, we can definitely push for that. Yo, 2350 is top 32. Top 10? Oh, it's 2420. Okay, that's a bit of a way to go. But okay, we can dream. We can dream. We can try and push. But okay, on that note, guys, I'm gonna head off. And thank you guys all for watching. And yes, if you're gonna play D4, play Joe Barber London, absolutely. And see you guys tomorrow for a simultaneous match. So definitely try to tune in. I will probably stream maybe around like midday, 1 p.m. or something. I don't know when specifically. It's whatever I say will probably be an hour later than that. So let's go with that. So okay, see you guys around. Adios.